Everybody talks about digital transformation, how necessary it is, but then few people talk about what happens afterwards or meanwhile. What happens if you achieve digital transformation for your organization? What happens then? What do you need to be aware of? And really, like, is maybe digital transformation is like endlessly moving goalpost thing that cannot be achieved, but how do you deal with that? Understanding that it actually affects the entire organization, because everybody has their viewpoint, right? Everybody has their speciality, their title, and that they worry about, the kind of world view with which they see the world and their organization. And it's very easy to talk about, yeah, it affects the entire organization, but understanding what it actually means, how to bring together different business units, and this is not just necessarily change management per se, as these are the organization matures while you're implementing these digital transformations. So you need not only new people, you also need to educate your current staff. You need to mix and match both. You maybe need to shift and transition people into different parts of the organization, and all that occurs over I'd say unfathomable amounts of time, right? It kind of it is going on for a very long period of time. So making that manageable and understanding the timescales that it takes, that's actually a very hard thing to wrap your head around. Ultimately, Internet of Things just means that things, so physical things, become smart in some way, shape or form. So they have digital abilities, capabilities, and thus behaviors. So once a thing, essentially a product that some corporation makes, once that product talks back to people and starts having behaviors or starts behaving in a certain way, then somebody needs to sit down and define, well, how does it behave? How does it talk? What's from the semantics it uses, to the language it uses, to the actual content, what it does. So, and that's very interesting. So somebody shaping that relationship between a thing and a human that is using it, that will be very interesting. So brands have the responsibility that their products behave in a way that fits their brand values and what the brand stands for. Oh, absolutely. So I mean, most of brands have been kind of like confronted with this paradigm through Alexa, through Cortana, Siri, all those skills that they can incorporate with conversational interfaces and voice-based interfaces and bots. So quickly there was a question: how do these behave? How do they represent the brand values? I don't necessarily know if it's the next frontier. It's just an extension of what a brand is. Essentially, a brand a corporation wants to represent certain values, and a brand is a promise that these values are upheld in anything that the corporation will do. So I'm not necessarily sure if it's the next frontier, but it's certainly a different playing field than before. No. First of all, I don't think humans need defending. Humans are quite resilient, humans are quite creative, and humans are amazing. So honestly, we as human beings are quite capable to deal with talking to things. And also, at the end of the day, it's trained by humans, right? So all this talk about giving these individual services or products a voice, that will be done by humans. So all this relationship design is nothing else than humans training the thing how to behave. So essentially, all the things are just a proxy to the humans that enabled the service or the product to talk in the first place. I'm part of a big technology corporation, right? So one of our sins is that sometimes technology giants are too insular. So especially when you think about diversity, when you think about inclusion, it's very important to reach out your comfort zone, get out of your bubble. So not only talk to technology people, not only talk to people in the field, but really reach out to different communities that have different thoughts, that have different perspectives, that might add to the thing we do to make it more complete and wholesome.